Well, you've probably heard the term Electoral College thrown around when talking about the American election. It is not a prestigious school for politicians. It is the system used to determine which candidate wins the election and becomes president. And it can be confusing. So today, we're going to explain exactly how it works. The first thing you need to know is that every state has a certain number of Electoral College votes. Some have a lot, some have a few, and we'll talk more about that in a second. In all but 2 states, all of the Electoral College votes go to whichever presidential candidate wins that state. So how do you win a state? Well, that part is easy. You get the most votes. So whichever candidate receives the most votes for president in a certain state gets the state's Electoral College votes in the overall election. So this map shows exactly how many Electoral College votes each state gets. And as you can see, a lot of states only have a handful. In fact, like look at Montana has 3, North Dakota, South Dakota, they have 3. Whereas in California, you have 55. That means whichever candidate receives the most votes for president in California gets all 55 of those Electoral College votes added to their total. So speaking of totals, if you add up all the Electoral College votes from every state, there are 538 right across the entire country. In order to win the presidency, you need at least half of those, or 270 of those votes, and that is the magic number. In 2016, Donald Trump won 306 Electoral College votes compared to Hillary, who won 232. Trump won the Electoral College votes from all of the states that are in red. So even though Clinton won by wide margins in California and New York, where nearly 18% of the population resides, Trump was able to pick up all the Electoral College votes from those smaller states across the middle, which ultimately added up to victory for him. So let's look at that a little bit more. And we took some questions about the Electoral College from social media. This is what Assad wanted to know. What is the relationship between the popular vote and the Electoral College? That is a great question. 2016 was the 5th time in history where the winner of the U.S. presidential election actually lost the popular vote, meaning that their opponent received more votes for president across the country than the actual president. In 2016, Hillary Clinton received nearly 3 million more votes for president than did Donald Trump. But she lost the Electoral College by more than 80 votes. So what it comes down to is margins, because winner-take-all rule for the Electoral College. It doesn't matter if a candidate wins a state by 10 or by 10 million votes. They get all of those Electoral College votes from that state either way. It's why that map is so important. In California, Clinton beat Trump by more than 4 million votes. And in New York, nearly 2 million votes. Those 2 states alone gave her a huge edge in the popular vote, and it gave her 84 Electoral College votes. On the other hand, the important states that Trump won, he won by very small margins. Key to his victory was being able to flip swing states like Michigan, Pennsylvania, Florida, which, by the way, we are watching in this election. In those 3 states combined, he won by less than 200,000 votes. But he picked up all 65 of their Electoral College votes. In fact, Donald Trump won 7 states by less than 6% in each. But those 7 states are what gave him 115 Electoral College votes and the win. So remember, if the popular vote and the Electoral College vote aren't lining up, it's because of the margins of victory in key states. Those were probably razor thin. Well, let's get to another social media question. Here's what Delvin wanted to know. The Electoral College is made up of House representatives, senators, governors, people who are running for election or re-election on November the 3rd. So how does that affect who becomes president? Well, here's the facts. It's true that members of the House and the Senate will be elected on Wednesday, and a typical general election ballot looks very different than ours. It includes choices for president, the Senate, House of Representatives, state and local offices, depending on where you live. So this year, all 435 seats in the House are up for grabs, as they always are, as well as 33 of the 100 seats in the Senate. But as far as the Electoral College votes go, remember, those are the important numbers, you can pretty much forget about all the other seats because the Electoral College is a national mechanism. So the only thing it determines is who becomes president and the vice president. Well, hopefully this has made the elusive Electoral College a little bit clearer. Remember, winning the popular vote tomorrow is not the goal. It is hitting that magic number of 270 Electoral College votes. The first to get there will be the next president of the United States. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.